Hiya! Welcome! This is Minidisc Monday edition number 16, and I'm going to show you something in the hip-hop and rap vein today. Haven't got too many hip-hop albums on MD. This is the obvious one, and there's some others that are kind of varying in quality, and we will get to all of those as this series progresses. Rest assured on that. But this one is a very kind of groundbreaking and iconic album of its time from 1996. It's the score by Fugees, or as they sometimes like to be credited, Fugees brackets Refugee Camp. The singles off this really made the Fugees the biggest thing in the hip hop and rap game in the mid-90s. They had a previous album that did okay, but it wasn't anywhere near as big a seller as this one, The Score, and obviously this was their peak as well. I mean, they kind of all splintered off not too long afterwards. I mean, they did do things together on and off over the years, but I don't think they ever released another proper album after this one, to the best of my knowledge. Of course, Fugees consist of Lauryn Hill, Pras Michel and Wyclef Jean. I do actually have a Wyclef Jean album and a Pras album also on Minidisc, so look out for me reviewing those at some point for Minidisc Monday. I've always wanted the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill actually. It's a Minidisc I was looking out for a lot back in the day, and I just always missed out on it. I know that's a well received and well reviewed album, but unfortunately I don't have the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. But back to The Score, it got to, I think, number 2 in the UK and number 1 in the US. And we'll have a look at this. There's your mini disc. It's on the Columbia label and also on the Rough House Records label as well. And we've got the tracks at the top there and the legal bump and the Columbia and Rough House logos on the bottom left. The booklet is, oh great, it's a concertina style one. Fortunately, it's not a massive one. Some of them are just page after page and I can't fold them up again properly. It's got some thanks from the three Fugees there, and even more thanks on that page. So I did listen to this again just now so that I could review it while it's fresh in my mind. I think it was around £30. I can't remember prices because it was so many years ago, but I think 30 for this was quite a bargain really, as I know it does go for a lot depending on who's selling it where, but I was glad to get it. My main problem with this album is all the skits and the kind of segues that are in this, and that's kind of like a recurring thing with a lot of rap albums. I mean, I'm a big Tupac and Notorious B.I.G. fan, and they have a lot of sort of skit type things, you know, spoken word, little audio drama type things, sort of bridging the gaps between tracks, and it's the same with The Score really, but they don't work for me really. I'd rather just them have music and that's it. Look at the back, by the way, you can see I'm reading the track listing from the bottom there. But track 1 is Red Intro, which is quite a long song. It's just basically a proper track rather than a brief intro. Number 2, How Many Mics, that was alright. Now in number 3, probably still my favourite hip-hop single of all time. It's just an absolute banger, Ready or Not. It samples Enya's Bodicea. Of course, I reviewed Watermark for Minidisc Monday 2 weeks ago. Awesome single, got to number 1 in the UK, has been remixed and reworked numerous times over the years. Track 4, Zealots. Number 5, The Beast. Number 6, another single, Fuji La. I can't remember where that got to in the chart. I think it was top 20 here in the UK. May have scraped the top 10, but I'm guessing not. Probably the weakest of the singles off this album, certainly. This is very strong for singles, and I think they kind of pitched it right, really, with what singles they did end up releasing off this. Number 7, Family Business. And number 8 was arguably their breakthrough single, the cover of Roberta Flack's Killing Me Softly with his song. That's a number 1 here in the UK as well. Just massive all across the world. Weirdly, I never really liked that when it first came out, but it has grown on me over the years. However, I do think the Roberta Flack original is better. Number 9 is The Score, the title track for this album. An interesting one actually, because it kind of samples other tracks within the album. You can hear a sample from Ready or Not, I think one from No Woman No Cry, which we'll get to, and others as well. Pretty good. Number 10 is The Mask. Number 11 is probably my favourite track on here that wasn't released as a single, unless it came out somewhere internationally and I didn't realise, is Cowboys, and it's unsurprisingly got a very Western kind of sound to it, and it interpolates a lot of well-known stuff from other people, like you hear someone attempting a Michael Jackson kind of thing, and there's others that slip in my mind as well. 12 is, it's a toss-up really, whether this or Ready or Not's my favourite on the album, because I love them both, is their cover of Bob Marley's No Woman No Cry. That was the first Fugees CD single I ever bought, actually. Brilliant cover, and it's probably sacrilege to say, but I actually like the Fugees version better than Bob Marley's. And track 13 is Manifest, segued into the outro. The outro goes on, it's just some guy. I don't think he's one of the two lads here, Pras or Wyclef, because he's actually shouting out Wyclef and Pras, and that just goes on. The actual track Manifest was good, but I could have done without the outro, and I could have done without a lot of the skits that were in the middle of tracks here, kind of linking them all together.
Money in the bag, banker look like a drag. I wanna play with fella cause we're getting back. Yo, gun blast, stick fast, I think I'm hit. My girl picks my hips to see if I still exist. I think not, I'll send a letter to my friend. I'm born again, hooligan, only send me king again. Ready or not, here I come. You can't hide, yes, gonna find you and take it slowly. Ready or not, here I come.
So it's a mild recommendation for me, this. I think it's good. I can understand why it's such an iconic album in its genre. I mean, hip-hop had really exploded in the UK, certainly, end of '95 with Gangsta's Paradise by Coolio, and then there was other big hip-hop singles, including a couple from the Fugees themselves, Ready or Not and Killing Me Softly in '96. No Woman No Cry didn't do quite as well. And I do like Cowboys, and the score's pretty good. Fuji La is okay. The rest of it is kind of by the numbers. I don't want to say gangster rap, although there is certain gangster themes in it. It's more kind of alternative hip-hop, a little bit conscious in places, but they're kind of trying to dip the toes in kind of conscious hip-hop and hardcore hip-hop as well, and it doesn't quite work, them trying to be jack of all trades really. But it's a good album. It's never going to be my very favourite album of all time, but I like it, and I would recommend that anyone who's a rap fan, certainly, and there can't be many rap fans who've never listened to this, and I'm sure most of them would rate it higher than I do. But I love the singles on here. A couple of other album tracks I think are very, very good, but the rest of the album is just kind of okay to below average for me. But that is the score from the Fugees. So thank you for watching this Minidisc Monday. We will be back in 2 weeks' time. However, I want to let you know that in the month of October, Minidisc Monday is going weekly. We're going to have 4 episodes of the series every Monday throughout October, because it's relating to a themed month here on the channel. So join me again in 2 weeks' time as we kick off this special weekly Minidisc Monday. I want to say in the meantime a special thanks to my wonderful subscribers and generous patrons, and ask that you join me again in 2 weeks' time for the first of 4 special themed editions. Cheers everyone. See ya!